So, people have been saying that I need to review another 3DS game, but I'm not really sure which one I want to do though. Let's take a look.
Ah yes, Hey Pikmin. That is a great puzzle platformer that got a way too bad rap because some people are just blatantly and blindly biased against spin-offs, even if they didn't play the game. I dunno, there's not much more I have to say about that one. Hoo boy, that one's a real doozy.
I think I'd rather save my thoughts on that until Season 4 starts up.
Ah, Super Mario 3D Land. I already did a review of that back in the day, but I'd love to play through it again.
Alright, that's what I'll do. This is my re-review of Super Mario 3D Land. That's odd. I don't remember this game having a 2D mode. I guess I'll try it. Oh, no. No! Hello, and welcome back to an old series of mine, 3DS games that I love to hate. As earlier this year marked the release of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, today I will be talking about the third installment in the series, New Super Mario Bros. 2. A title which does not make me angry, because there is no need for anger over silly little 3DS games. It is 2019, so we can be calm about this.
Now, of course, the reason why the game has a 2 in its title is not because of which game it is in the series, but rather because it is the second handheld title, advertising itself as a follow-up to New Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo DS, a game which I am very fond of. It has outstanding level design, unique new power-ups, and acts as a great story follow-up to Super Mario Sunshine. But it is fascinating that New Super Mario Bros. 2 sees itself as a follow-up to the original when it really has very little to do with the original. The physics and level design of the game seem much more akin to the console title New Super Mario Bros. Wii, which there's nothing inherently wrong with. New Super Mario Bros. Wii was a massive success. In fact, it was the 4th best-selling Wii game. Why not make all follow-ups more akin to it than the original? But then, why call it New Super Mario Bros. 2? Would not a more accurate title be New Super Mario Bros. 3DS? Not only would that follow the traditional naming scheme of the console titles New Super Mario Bros. Wii and New Super Mario Bros. U, but it would also prevent people from expecting elements from the original like the Blue Shell power-up, 2-player versus mode, giant bosses, and the inclusion of Bowser Jr. Yes, you heard me right, Bowser Jr. is nowhere to be found in this game. Rather, after their reintroduction in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, the main bosses of this game are the Koopalings. Like in that game, each Koopaling is the main boss of a world, and there are no original bosses like there were in the original DS game. The Midworld Tower bosses are simply reused versions of Reznor from Super Mario World, and strangely, there is no Bowser Jr. in this game, despite the youngster being present in the Wii title. How peculiar. But another reason why I think New Super Mario Bros. 3DS would have been a more suitable title for this game is because of the game which this one takes most of its, inspiration from. See, the reason why the original DS game called itself New Super Mario Bros. Is because it is, at its core, a revamped version of the original game, Super Mario Bros., with entirely different levels and unique additional features. The basic power-ups in the game are the Super Mushroom and the Fire Flower, the ones which were available in Super Mario Bros. 1. There was no Super Leaf, no Frog or Hammer Suit, no Cape Feather, and no Yoshi. So you would expect a game called New Super Mario Bros. 2 to have the same kind of connection to the original Super Mario Bros. 2, well regarded as the game of the year.
Super Mario Brothers 2. Oh, it's still the king. Still the king after all these years.
But This 3DS game has no connection to either the US or the Japanese version of Mario 2, also known as The Lost Levels. The only recent game that has done that would be Super Mario 3D World. If anything, the game that this one most closely bases itself on would be Super Mario Bros. 3, as this game features many design elements that were present in that, such as the Super Leaf complete with its own P-meter, and those strange rectangular block platforms that can be walked in front of. But wait, didn't Super Mario 3D Land already utilize elements from Mario 3? That game had those blocky platforms and reintroduced the Super Leaf, which in that game turned you into Tanuki Mario, but in this one, more like Mario 3, you become Raccoon Mario. This inconsistency disturbs me. Reusing elements from Mario 3 worked well in 3D Land, as that game required them to be used in more unique ways, since it is in a 3D plane. But as this game shares its 2D nature with Mario 3, it more easily rips off ideas, no? I must stay calm? There is no reason to be upset. But it does raise another point. In the Wii title, the main power-up was a new one, the Propeller Mushroom, but also made use of the returning Yoshi and new Penguin suit in some levels. Here, the main power-up is not new, exemplifying the unoriginality at this game's core. One new power-up that this game does introduce is the Gold Flower, which is essentially a powered-up fire flower that can turn everything into coins. One of the big gimmicks of this game is collecting as many coins as possible, so there are massive amounts in this game. As a result, since 100 coins is still all that's required to obtain an extra life, the game is made extremely easy, and getting a game over is never an actual issue. But even if they upped the coin requirement for extra lives, the level design is still absurdly easy, even late into the game. New Super Mario Bros. DS had some really challenging levels, and none of them in this game really stack up until the post-game. It is quite sad. Now I can't say that there are absolutely zero elements this game reuses from the DS title. Mega Mushrooms make a return after their absence in Wii, but unfortunately, every level in which a Mega Mushroom is used feels unnecessary, and there are no clever puzzles that use them to obtain star coins, unlike in DS, where a Mega Mushroom always felt like it enhanced a level, with level elements being uniquely placed to build up extra lives. 2 has none of this, but it does have somewhat clever use of the Mini Mushrooms, as did DS and Wii. Unfortunately, my favorite aspect of Mini Mushrooms in DS, when they were used to unlock Worlds 4 and 7 by defeating the bosses of World 2 and 5 in mini form, was omitted from 2, despite the world structures being largely the same. There are 6 main worlds: the grasslands, the desert, a combination of a jungle and a beach, an ice world, a sky world, and finally a lava world. These are traditional Mario themings with the omission of the mountain world, but together add up to 2 less worlds than all other new Super Mario Bros. Games. This is made up for with World Mushroom and World Flower, which are generic and have a non-specific theme. They are reached not by defeating the World 1 and World 3 bosses as Mini Mario, no, rather simply by using cannons from those aforementioned worlds, which are now extremely short levels made pathetically easy by the Super Leaf. So your reward for finding the fastest path through the game is being deprived of visual prowess on the map screens and specific area theming. These levels are no more challenging than the main worlds, so why even make them different? Why not include the mountain world again? Why not separate the beach and jungle world? In their attempt to be more unique than their predecessors, they ended up becoming more generic. If I must give this world design style a compliment, I will say I much enjoyed the post-game World Star. This should have been the only non-specifically themed world, as it served the same purpose as World 9 from Wii. However, unlike that world, which unlocked each level based on if you had collected every star coin in each world, all the post-game levels in 2 only require 90 star coins, a mere 41% of all the star coins in the game. I wish more modern Mario games would do this, as while I enjoy being rewarded for 100% completion with a brutally hard level, like in Galaxy 2 and 3D Land, I am not a fan of being locked out of multiple levels simply because I wasn't invested enough in the game's collectible placement, as was also the case with 3D World. I won't say the star coin placement in 2 is anywhere near as atrocious as the collectibles in Yoshi's New Island, but it certainly doesn't come close to the genius of New Super Mario Bros. DS or Wii.
So there you have it, New Super Mario Bros. 2, a flawed game with most of its elements taken from Mario 3. Even though 3D Land already did that, and a story and physics engine that are reminiscent of New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Even though the title and advertising for the game try to relate it back to New Super Mario Bros. DS, it's a perfectly average game. New Super Mario Bros. 2. 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 This game isn't new at all!
This was my biggest problem with Yoshi's New Island. It calls itself new, but rips off all of its elements from Yoshi's Island 1. People give the New Super Mario Bros. Games crap for constantly recycling material from one another, but at least most of them legitimately brought something new and unique to the table. DS gave us the blue shell, mega, and mini mushrooms. Wii, the propeller mushroom and penguin suit. U, the acorn mushroom. Even U Deluxe added the super crown for Toadette. What did 2 have? The gold flower. Nothing more than a beefed up fire flower. That's not enough! Even the game's massive amounts of coins gimmick can be traced back to the treasure ship from Mario 3, which even that concept was done better in 3D World's Coin Express. There is nothing in this game that is original.
And the thing is, they didn't have to do anything original, because DS really didn't either.
New Super Mario Bros. DS takes almost all of its elements from the DS launch title Super Mario 64 DS, from character models to enemies to power-ups to even the minigame mode. You could argue that DS also has very few original concepts. However, the genius of that game is that it uses all of those elements from a 3D platformer and turned them into a 2D platformer, and then added its own additional features. And as it turns out, in Super Mario Maker 2 for the Nintendo Switch, one of the style themes is based on Super Mario 3D World, which is doing the exact same thing, using the elements of a 3D game to make a 2D game. I would love to see a whole game using this style, but instead we're getting fan-created levels, which is arguably better. If New Super Mario Bros. 2 had done this using elements from Super Mario 3D Land, it would have been a much better game. And clearly that's what it was going for, as both it and 3D Land took heavy inspiration from Mario 3. The goal of New Super Mario Bros. 2 was to accomplish the same thing as 3D Land, but as a 2D platformer, and it failed at that in every regard, because it thought it was necessary to play like New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
That's it. I am done. I cannot stand this game. Go play Super Mario 3D Land instead, or go play New Super Mario Bros. DS, or literally any other game in the New Super Mario Bros. Series, or Super Mario Maker 2! This has been Matt Chats. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ugh.